Hello everyone, Gayla Kessler. Welcome to today's Sharing with Sheila segment. My name is Sheila Powell and I'm a member of the Human Resources team here at Comox Valley Schools. I respectfully acknowledge that we are living, working, and playing on the traditional territories of the Comox First Nation peoples, whose historical relationships with the land continue to this day. I would like to thank them for the privilege of living on the land and especially the gift of working with their children. I've invited Michael McNamee to join me today, who is part of our trades team here in the district. Michael, thank you for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Also, I wanted to point out that Mike is joining me from home today because he's currently off work due to an injury. So, Mike, colleagues who are tuning in will want to know how you're doing. Are you okay?
No, I'm recovering for sure. September, I broke my tibial plateau in 3 spots. I had emergency surgery the next day, and they put 2 plates, one across the bone and one down the bone, and 8 screws in there. And I was flat out. It's of course my driving leg too, so I was completely indisposed, and for 12 weeks before I could even put any weight on it, and it was another month before I could start physio, and so I've been doing physio and recovering. It's a process. I'll tell you, it's one of those situations where you know you have a little bit more respect for people who go through these things. It's been a process, but I'm definitely on the mend.
On the mend. That's good to hear. And how long do you think until you're able to come back?
Well, it's I have yet to be cleared by my doctor, so it's a matter of getting the strength from my job. I need to be able to be on my knees, and I need to be able to climb ladders, and so until I have the strength to do that, I'm hoping to be back mid-March, beginning of April. That's kind of my goal, but it's been set back a couple times now, so hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah. Well, all the best to you in your recovery. And a great segue, by the way. So you mentioned climbing ladders. So why not tell us a little bit of what is your role in the school district and how long have you been here?
Yeah, I started in October of 2011. And I started as a plumber, gas fitter. And quickly, the charge hand of our department at the time, Bill Wiggins, had, like, the Friday before I started, he put in his retirement papers. So I quickly became the charge hand of the department. Sheila giving me my job. I remember that phone call. I think it might have been the first time I spoke to you when I got that job. So I became I'm the charge hand of the plumbing and heating department. So our department covers all the plumbing, heating, boilers, all the sprinkler work, gas work, ventilation. So it's a pretty wide operation that we deal with. And as charge hand, my duties are basically assigning work, and there's 4 of us in the department, and all the guys are independent workers. My job is just basically to get the information from management down to them and assign the work, and then I have my own schools and my own physical part of the labor where I'm out in the schools and dealing with all the operations. I've moved into the control side of things, which so building automation, heating, thermostats, boilers, and all that kind of thing, all which I've been trained through the district to do, and it's been so that's basically what I do.
Amazing. We have a lot of schools, so there's a lot of work to be done out there, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
What made you decide to pursue working with the school district?
Well, my wife got sick about 15 years. Was it 15? Can't be. Anyway, before I came to the district, I was working for a private mechanical contractor, and I was a project manager, estimator, and working I was off the tools and working in the office, and it's that side of the trade and the business side is very time demanding, and I was working a lot. And my wife got sick, and she got she's totally fine, by the way. She's made 100% recovery, and she's been 100% for a long time. But at the time, she acquired a disease called reactive arthritis. So basically, immensely long story short, she went from being as healthy as you and I are now to not being able to brush her own teeth in a 48-hour period. So it was pretty crazy. She was in a wheelchair, and we had a wheelchair ramp. And, when things like that happen, you take stock of what's going on in your life. And I was working probably anywhere from 60 to 70 hours a week. And I just started to look around, and, it had always been something that I thought of. I really great friend of mine that I worked with went to the district in Parksville, District 69, and we'd always chatted about it. So when the position came up, I just I made a leap, and my kids were young and in the schools, and that was really attractive to me. And it appealed to me, so I made the jump, and I haven't looked back.
Well, we're certainly glad that you did.
Thank you.
I mean, you've been here then for nearly 10 years.
No, it'll be 10 years October.
Yeah. So,
great.
I mean, you obviously came from private industry. Now you're working in schools with students. Is it what you hoped it would be? What you
it's hard to think back to what I had hoped it would be at the time. But, it's turned into so much more than that. Like, I coach my son's hockey team, and I'm involved with my daughter's extracurricular stuff. So that part of it, like, I can walk down the halls at Vanier, or where my son goes, and I'll see 20 kids that I've coached in hockey over the years, and just being a part of their, a small part of passing that guy and a kid that I coached in when he was 7 in the hall and giving him a high five. It for me it's really neat. It's really like, it's something that you can't kind of put a value on, and just being able to have connections with my kids in the district, and relationships with their teachers, and so that kind of stuff it's invaluable. It's been all jobs have their downsides, and I've had my bad days and lots of turmoil, but it's been good for me. Like, it's been a really positive experience for me.
I remember bumping into you in the staff room a few years ago here at the school board office, and if I remember correctly, you were telling me a story about how you were in a school, perhaps you were fixing a fountain, there was a student that you had this amazing interaction with. Would you tell us that story?
Yeah, it was in Courtney Elementary, and we were installing bottle fillers throughout the district. At the time, it was one of our main projects, and I was down in the middle of the hall, and I was lying down underneath, and my tools were kind of spread out around me, and this young boy, special needs boy, kind of came up and he grabbed one of my tools. I was like, I kind of was like, his EA had probably taken her eyes off for a second, and then I said, hey, and I kind of said, oh, you're the plumber's helper, and we kind of had a little chat, and the EA was right there, right on it, and I said, oh no, it's okay, he's helping me, and we kind of had this little interaction and you could just see he brightened right up, and he you could tell this meant a lot to him. So it was maybe a 7 or 8 minute interaction where this young boy was the plumber's helper, and he actually have him hand me a tool, and in the safest way possible. But it was just a really meaningful experience for me to be a part of this young guy's day, and it was really clear that I had some sort of positive impact on him, and like I say, like those types of interactions they're invaluable. You can't. It's just part of the positive experience, and like I say, all jobs have tough days, and all jobs have difficult moments. But focusing in on those positive situations is what really helps me keep positive and have positive experiences at work.
Yeah. On behalf of the district, we're grateful. I mean, we're grateful for the investment that you and your colleagues are making every day, Mike. And clearly from hearing you tell that story, it's clear that the investment for you reaches beyond exercising the skills of your trade. That you are making a difference in the lives of the children.
Yeah, and it's with us, like it's not a direct, it's not a direct impact that we're having. Our impact is, in my case, making sure the water runs and making sure the kids have heat and making sure that there's a safe working environment. And that's the job. Like you can come to work every day and punch in and you do your job and leave. But if I've always kind of thought of it as the kids are the clients, the students are the clients, and they're the ones that if you don't look at it like that, in my opinion, and you're not going to get the positive reinforcement that is there to be had.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. My perspective is similar. I'm usually in meetings and at the school board office, but I try to be very present with the reality that everything I do has the potential to have a positive impact for students, for learning, and for education. So I share the sentiment with you and applaud you for it, for staying positive all the time. And you're absolutely right. Whether you're in the trades, whether you're in a school board office or a school office or a library or repairing playground equipment or maintaining vehicles, all the work that we do, it's all for the sake of the students. So,
and like I say, the trades it's a quiet part of it, and we don't get that immediate satisfaction of what we're doing all the time. We don't, when you're present with the students and you can see that gratification build throughout the year, that I'm sure that's rewarding in its own way. Ours is a quieter type, and you kind of have to look for it a little bit, and sometimes that's okay. I think the quieter we are is the better for the better job we're doing. When we're not getting the emergency phone calls, and that's when we're doing a good job, and that's the pride that we have to take in our job.
Yeah, agreed. So thank you so much for taking the time to share your perspective and share your stories. We like to get the message out there, and we want you to know that we appreciate you, and thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.